friends, it's Chrysla. It is Wednesday, which means it is feeding day here for our ball pythons. So we wanted to share with you that process. Before we begin, I want to let you know that this is a live feed, which means that we're going to take live rats, we're going to put them in with live snakes. The snakes are going to kill the rats and they're going to swallow them. So if that's something you're not prepared for, turn it off now. I won't be offended. If that is something that you're going to stick around for, I just wanted to share a little bit about why we choose to feed live. Because feeding live isn't the only option. Some people choose to feed their ball pythons frozen thawed rodents, which essentially is a rodent that somebody raised and then euthanized and then froze and packaged and sold. And then when it's time to feed, you defrost the rodent, you warm it up, and you feed it to your ball python. When we first got the ball pythons, we were feeding frozen thawed, and that's an okay way to go, but we found that some of our snakes didn't really care for the frozen thawed. They didn't really want to eat when it was feeding time, and it also got to be a lot more work. We had to defrost rats every time we wanted to feed our snakes, and that was a process. And then if it didn't eat, we had to refrigerate it. And so live was a lot easier for us. We were able to just buy the rat, pick it up, throw it in, and it was as simple as that. We breed our own rats here, so it's really easy for us to pick up a rat, throw it in, and if the snake doesn't eat it, we take it out and put it back in our breeder rack and save it for next week. If you don't have a bunch of snakes or you don't have your own breeder rack, then feeding live might cause some more problems for you if your snake chooses not to eat. But either way, feeding live is what we choose to do. So these are the rats that we will be feeding today. We took these guys out of our breeder racks. I did want to mention the fact that these rats are actually a little bit smaller. Let me see if I can grab one. They're a little bit smaller than what you would typically want to feed your full-grown breeder ball python. Oh, they're not cooperating. This little guy, about this big. They're not quite weaned yet, so I think this one's, I think it's like 3 weeks old, 3.5 maybe. Usually a snake as large as our breeder females would prefer a bigger rat. We have had some trouble with our breeding rats. We went through a season where we had an abundance of baby rats and it was all good, and then our breeder females stopped breeding, and so now while we're replenishing our stock, we have a lot more small baby rats than we do big rats. So these guys are going to be going in with our snakes. Well guys, that's what the ball python feeding looks like. I condensed it down for you a little bit, so usually it takes a little bit longer for them to eat. Also, on a normal feeding day, we usually put the rat in and close it right away, give them their privacy. They eat better that way, quicker, but just for the purpose of the video, we pulled some tubs out and left it open so you could see that process. If you have any questions about feeding, any comments, thoughts you'd like to share, be sure to include them below in the comment section. If you'd like to see more pictures of our ball pythons, you can visit our Facebook page, which is linked in the description. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.